success of the Netflix series Kung Fu Panda: The Dragon Knight, those responsible at DreamWorks now seem to believe that there is potential in a fourth film and have made an official announcement. The film is expected to hit theaters in March 2024 and will no longer be distributed by 20th Century Studios, but by Universal Pictures. Also joining the team is producer Peter Hastings, who was equally invested in Kung Fu Panda: The Dragon Knight. In the original lead role, we will again be able to see, or rather hear, Jack Black as the skilled martial artist Panda Po. However, the exact plot details are not known as of yet, which also means that we don't know whether the film will tie in with Kung Fu Panda: The Dragon Knight, or with Kung Fu Panda 3 in any way. We are looking forward to more information about Kung Fu Panda 4, which will be out in March 2024. And in the meantime, we will keep you posted. The upcoming John Wick prequel series, Continental, consists of 3 episodes and was originally supposed to be broadcast by the U.S. channel Starz. However, according to media reports, the series will now be broadcast by the U.S. streaming service Peacock instead. Peacock president Kelly Campbell expresses her joy about this deal. For example, the 3 John Wick movies, which are also exclusively available on Peacock, are among the most watched films on the streaming service. The partnership with Lionsgate is an honor, he says, and they will ensure that the Continental becomes one of the streaming highlights of the coming year, with the help of NBC Universal's Full Power. The plot is set in 1970s New York and revolves around the young criminal Winston Scott, also well known from the movies. Winston fights his way through the underworld and once took over the hotel, the Continental, which serves as a meeting place and hideout for numerous hitmen and criminals. In addition to Colin Waddell as young Winston Scott, we get to see Mel Gibson as Cormac, Peter Green as young Uncle Charlie, Ayomide Adegun as Sharon, and Jeremy Bobb as Mayhew, among others. Each of the 3 episodes will be about 90 minutes long, with the Book of Eli director Albert Hughes handling the production of episodes 1 and 3, while the Lord of the Rings: The Rings of Power director Charlotte Brandstrom will take over the 2nd episode. The series is scheduled for release next year, at which point we can also see the 4th John Wick movie in theaters on as well as the breathtakingly beautiful game world made the game created by developer studio Sucker Punch Productions sell over 9 million units within 2 years. In its original form, the game, in which you play the samurai Jin Sakai, is produced entirely in Japanese. But of course, it does feature of the game was also a Japanese affair. Sony is said to be very much behind the idea, so it should only be a short period of time before shooting starts. There is no exact release date for the movie yet, though given the early stage of production, we should not count on a release in the next 2 years. When the extremely inexpensive Saw, which cost $1.2 million to produce, was released almost 18 years ago, no one expected that a 10th part of the series would one day be released. We have known more about it for a few months though, because Saw 10 is indeed in the works. Kevin Grudert is to direct the film, which would be the 3rd time he directs a Saw movie, since he is one of the Saw greats behind the scenes. Not much is known about the contents yet, but the return of Jigsaw actor Tobin Bell is considered certain after rumors have been circulating for quite some time already. This also means the film will not be a sequel, but rather a prequel, as Jigsaw already died in the 3rd film. The last movie, Spiral, from the Book of Saw, had 2 top-class main actors, with comedian Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson, but failed to win over the audience overall and became the financially weakest film in the series. In fact, Tobin Bell did not play a part in this film and only appears in 1 photo, which is the reason why it is now hoped that his return to the camera will bring about the great revival of the movie series. The script was written by Josh Stolberg and Pete Goldfinger. Both of whom have been writing scripts for the Saw franchise for quite some time. Some sources claim that Saw 10 will take place shortly before Saw. The official release date was announced a few days ago, and that is planned for October 27, 2023. Robert De Niro's last appearance in his starring role turn his back on... There's still no further news about the cast or the plot, but we do know that the script will be written by Nicholas Pileggi. He already has some experience as the author of the cult films Casino and Goodfellas when it comes to classic mob movies, which should certainly please genre fans. Goodfellas producer Irvin Winkler project back then. The only person missing to complete the crew is Martin Scorsese as director, one might think. However, Good Morning Vietnam director Barry Levinson, who at least has experience working with Robert De Niro, will be directing the film. Precisely when Wise Guys will be released has not been determined so far. The president of PANDA. In the upcoming prequel, however, he'll be seen in his younger years, where he's still working as a supervisor behind the scenes of the Hunger Games. Director Francis Lawrence, who directed the previous 3 movies, recently spoke to Vanity Fair about the new character Greg, describing her as the anti-Katniss. According to him, she is musically gifted, charming, a performer, and does not have much in common with the serious and reserved main character of the original film series. As a result, she arouses the interest of the young Coriolanus Snow, and they eventually fall in love. For Snow, who comes from humble beginnings, the games are extremely important. Lucy's mentor sees the games as his big chance to climb the social ladder and leave his old life behind. Recent information also concerns another new addition to the feature film, namely that Viola Davis is to be added as the villain Dr. Volumnia Gall. The character is the head game maker of the 10th Hunger Games and is said to be a very vicious figure. She is very energetic and has an almost disturbing, playful manner that does not really fit her actions. She is also said to be in some ways a role model for the later President Coriolanus Snow. The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, is scheduled for release on November 17, 2023, and is based on the book of the same name by Suzanne Collins, who published the novel in May 2020. And that was the news for this week. If you still haven't had enough, take a look at our big preview of The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. In our new Originals episode, you can find out everything there is to know about the exciting Amazon series coming up soon on September 2nd, 2022.